Welcome, and thank you for your interest in About Space Today's series of reports on unexplained phenomena. In Part 1, SETI and NASA's Planetary Protection Agreement. About Space Today has found some interesting coincidences of why NASA had a must launch. First, it appears that NASA may know more about the Perseverance rover landing site in the Jezreel crater than has openly discussed until now. More next on About Space Today. The truth is out there, and it may be closer than we think. I have a conspiracy theory that may all start in the Jezreel crater. But first, during the pre-launch news conference, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine says indirectly this landing site may be where we might find life on another planet.
This is the first time in history when NASA has dedicated a mission to what we call astrobiology, the search for life, either maybe now, or ancient life on another world. And of course, when we go to the Jezero crater, which is obviously a big crater on Mars, but it's also a former lake bed, and it had a river that flowed into it, and that river delta is a place where we believe there could have been at one point in time life.
As NASA was launching the Mars rover, the space agency sent out a standard news release. And here is where things begin to get interesting. In the midst of launching a rocket to Mars and flying under the radar, NASA awards the SETI Institute a contract for $4.7 million over the next 5-year period. Interestingly, in time for Perseverance to land, photograph, do a helicopter flyover, and then bring back soil and rock samples from the red planet to Earth. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with SETI, it stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And for years, SETI has been waiting for a message from out there in the cosmos. But what do we really know about SETI as we investigate?
We don't know whether there is life of any kind beyond Earth. But I think that the 21st century is the century in which we're going to answer that question. My name is Jill Tarter. I'm the Director Emeritus of SETI Research at the SETI Institute. We're here to talk about the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or actually, the search for extraterrestrial technology.
The SETI Institute, as we've discovered, has been deeply involved on many NASA missions, including the Hubble Telescope, Curiosity rover, OSIRIS-REx, and Kepler. So what has SETI discovered since beginning its listening to the cosmos?
We've been at this SETI business since 1960, and you might think that we must have searched everything, but in fact, we've searched almost nothing. The total volume that we need to explore, set that equilibrium of all the Earth's oceans. Well, since 1960, we've actually searched maybe a hot tub's worth of the ocean. Really not very much. It's such a huge universe out there, and we've observed such a small part of it.
NASA administrator admits life existed on Mars, and we may find life and bring samples back to Earth.
We know that Mars had a very active atmosphere and a very active hydrosphere, that it was protected from the radiation of deep space at one time 3 billion years ago. In other words, Mars was at one time habitable. We know that because of past missions, Spirit and Opportunity. And now that we know what the history of Mars was, we can say, okay, maybe there was life there. Let's go find out if there was life on Mars.
NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine. Why do we need planetary protection? The truth is out there, and the discovery of alien life may be closer than we think.
Just this morning, jet fighters raced aloft over Wright-Patterson Air Force Base at Dayton, Ohio, to interported saucer. Returning pilots swore that it was a light that could not have been a reflection and that it evaded them at a very high rate of speed.
Join me next Tuesday for my conspiracy theory in Part 2, SETI and NASA. Welcome, and thank you for your interest in About Space Today's series of reports on